Hi friends, I'm Abby and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing my December TBR. As you can see, the background is not really backgrounding. I really hope this is a welcome back and not a welcome to, because if this is your first video of mine, I'm sorry. If you didn't know, I moved house in November. It was stressful, it was chaos, it was intense, and the house is not sorted at all. We went from being in a furnished place and now obviously we've bought and it's unfurnished, and we just don't have loads of furniture yet, and we've got loads of plans, and so everything is in boxes, is a mess. We're waiting for loads of different pieces to things of furniture to arrive. Like, you do not want to look at what this room looks like around me. I've just tried to pick a wall that's plain-ish with light. So that's what you're getting here today. It's chaos. I have no idea where any books are. Just no idea about where anything is. So here we are, but it's getting there. It's a lot better than what it was when we moved in. So progress, and I'm hoping like soon we'll have a few more things. We may be waiting for months for a sofa, but it's okay because I got some bean bags that arrived today. So, you know, small wins. I feel like I'm a child again, being able to sit on a bean bag, but we have a bean bag, so that's something. It's not the floor. So if you can't tell, my November has been chaotic and I haven't done loads of reading, and what I have read, I have gone rogue. I made that TBR and I had all these plans and I was like, this will be great. In November, all I did was go rogue. I will film a wrap up of what I've read, because I have managed to read a few things, but it's all been rogue. I've read some very random things. I've started so many things, so I did not stick to my plans at all. So there's quite a few series that I wanted to like try and wrap up. I did not wrap up series. I just went rogue and started things. I just followed my heart, and my heart wanted to read random things and start series. And that's fine. I also did not know where loads of books were, so we just went with what I could buy and what I had to hand, which has also been quite fun, just buying a book and reading it. Anyway, I do have some plans for December, and I am hoping still to be able to wrap up some of those series that I have not been able to wrap up in November. I did such a good job in October wrapping things up. Alas, didn't continue. In terms of series, I do want to read The Atlas Complex by Lily Blake, the third book in the Atlas series. I have started this. I am 64 pages in, so I have made not too much of a dent, a little dent in this. I actually started this before moving house, and then I was like, I'm just not in the mood for this, put it down, and I haven't gone back to it because I've gone into my like rogue mood reading mood. So I do need to get back to this. It wasn't doing anything wrong or bad, I just wasn't feeling it. So I moved on to something else, but I do want to get back to this and actually wrap this up because it's not super long. How long is it? I've got like 400 pages to go, which is definitely manageable. I did hope to come back to this month, but it's not happened because I picked up new releases. So I do want to get back to this and finish this one off. I think I've talked about the plot of this in a few things before, but it's like a dark academia story following 6 characters that enter into this Alexandrian society, but they know that only 5 can continue on into the second year, and they will have different magical powers, and it's all quite slow moving and academia focused. Some other finales, which I have not ordered, so I actually can make progress in them. I hadn't ordered them before, so that was also slowing me down. But A Darkness at Sethanon, which is the 3rd/4th, who knows how you count it, book in the Magician series by Raymond E. Feist. So I have now ordered that one, so that one will be coming. And me, Vish and Sam, who we've been buddy reading the series together, I can link Vish's channel and Sam's Instagram below. We have put a date in, so it's like mid-December we're going to read that. I think it's like the 12th of December we're going to read that book and wrap that series up. So now we're all aligned, we can get that one sorted. And that's like a very classic epic fantasy following this guy called Pug, who is trained to be a magician in the first instance, but these, I guess, warrior army are coming, and they know that their country and society is at risk. And then the other final one is A Dawn of Gods in Fury, which is the 4th and final book in the Fate, Wrath and Flame series by K.A. Tucker. So I have now got that on Kindle, so I just need to read it. It's a fantasy romance series where our main character Ramiria, who lives in New York, gets sort of sucked into a portal fantasy world where she's in the body of somebody who's just gone and killed the king and queen of that world, and she's like, oh, but I didn't do this, but she is charged with doing those things, and all things stem from there. So I do want to wrap that one up as well. So hopefully that will all be achievable. But I do have quite a few like plans for December. So I have 2 work trips coming up. I've had a little break from work trips, but we're moving into winter, which is when the work trips really ramp up. So I'm going to Austria in the first week of December for a couple of nights, and then France the week after for a couple of nights. So they're both quite short trips, sort of 3 days, 2 nights, but obviously it does have an impact on my reading and what I'm able to get read, because I'm busy thinking about travelling. And I am planning to go to a Wind and Truth event that Gallants are doing, that I've been invited to, which obviously isn't going to impact my reading that much, but I am excited about that event. I don't think I'm going to be getting to Wind and Truth in December, but I am excited about the event nonetheless. I have started, but I do not anticipate I will finish in November. I do still have a few days left, but I'm currently reading The Songbird and the Heart of Stone, and that's going to be my priority. And I do hope I will be able to finish that one in November. But I have also started Buried Deep and Other Stories by Naomi Novik. So this is her like short story collection, which came out recently. I picked it up at Yalk. And you see, I'm buying things, I'm just reading what I'm buying because it's to hand and I don't have to go through boxes. So I have read 2 of the short stories in here so far, so I'm 70 pages in, but I'm just sort of fitting these in sporadically. So I've not really got a plan for this. I think that's the best way to read short stories, is just to throw them in like whenever, like when you finish a book, read one of these. So I'm not actively prioritizing reading it like immediately and reading all of the stories back to back. But that is my hope, that I'll have all of these read and finished throughout the month of December. So these are from her like other series and her other world. So I have read A Deadly Education and her like standalone Spinning Silver and Uprooted. I haven't read the TBR series, but I know that this does have some short stories from all of those worlds, all of those series, as well as one from her new series. I do want to read the TBR series. It's just, and I do own the first book somewhere in a box, but I just thought this would be a fun way to like read a little bit more Naomi Novik, and I do typically like her books and her works, so enjoying this so far. For an audiobook, it's another series finale, although I've sort of been counting them as standalones, but now that I'm reaching the final book, I might just count it as another series finished for the year, and that's the final book in the Chestnut Spring series. So I've been listening to the audios for all of these. It's a romance series set in rural Canada near Calgary, and it's like these cowboys and the family of them on this ranch, and the different romances. I think it's quite popular. It's quite a big, well-known one. I think the tropes are done well. Like, it's been quite fun. They've been good audiobooks, I'd say, just easy listens. So I've got like an hour left of Reckless, the 4th one, so I'll definitely have that one done by the end of the month. And then I do not know what's the next. I never know what any of these are called, but I've got the 5th one, so I feel as though it'd be quite good and satisfying to wrap that one up by the end of the year. Unrealistic expectations for myself. Throw it on here again. The Oleander Sword. It's been on a TBR for months. I haven't got to it. It'll happen. It just hasn't happened yet. I did, hope to get to this in November. It's not happened. Will it happen in December? Not sure. But this is the 2nd book in the Burning Kingdoms series by Tasha Suri. I really enjoyed The Jasmine Throne. I just haven't got to this yet. I just haven't got to it. I will. It's like an Indian inspired epic fantasy. We have like 2 perspectives, I think, in the main. One of them is this princess that's been locked up in a tower by her brother, who is the king of this realm, and women don't really have that much power in this world. And then her maidservant, who is cleaning this tower and looking after her. And there's a very interesting magic system with trees. So I am really intrigued to get back into this. I do need to refresh myself. Maybe I just delay reading this, like reread the first one next year instead of having this pressure to get this series done by the end of the year. Like, it's not going to happen. Maybe I do just reread that first one and like get to this like next year. Maybe that's better. I don't know. Okay, and then considering that I have just been mood reading and going rogue, these 2 books are really calling to me. They don't fit with my like goals of finishing things. They don't, but they are calling. So I'm putting them on this list. Everything's unrealistic at this point, but who cares? The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. It's calling to me. it's calling to me. I have read this book and it is one of my ongoing series, so it doesn't add to my series list, which is a good thing, I think. So I read this book back in 2014, 2015. I read the first two that were out at the time, and then I think I actually had an arc of the third book. My mum worked in a bookshop growing up, so I had like an arc of books 2 and 3, but I didn't get to the arc of book 3. I've had it ever since, and I have planned to like go back to it, but then because I know the series is going to be 7 books, I've been delaying starting a reread and continuing on with the series because I didn't want to restart it to then have to restart it again. But it's really calling to me. Sorry, shiny. It's really calling to me. I know that the 5th book's coming out early next year. I just don't, it just wants to be read, and I've got this really pretty edition now. I am definitely interested in picking this one up. I can't really remember what I read. I remember loving these books in 2014, but it's set in a place called Sion. The year is 2059, and we're following a main character called Paige Mahoney, who holds a high rank in the criminal underworld. She has like the special power is clairvoyant, which is a treasonous like offence, and she ends up getting arrested and thrown into captivity in Oxford, where she meets the founders of the like government. I remember loving this. I do remember loving this. I am interested to see as well like how much of it has been changed, although I wouldn't be able to remember much of the first book to know how much has been changed, but I do want to read this. It's just calling. And the other one that's calling has been calling for a while, but do I just give in and read it and listen to that desire? And that's The Will of the Many by James Islington. It's just been calling, and it keeps calling. So I want to read it. I did go and see Gladiator 2 last weekend, and you know, obviously that's very Roman inspired, and this is Roman inspired, and I was like, I would want to read The Will of the Many and like experience more Roman inspired things, because I've just seen Gladiator 2 and that's Roman inspired. I mean, I'm going to see Wicked this weekend coming. Is that going to make me want to read something completely different? I'll go see Wicked and be like, I want to read fairy tales. So who knows what the mood is going to do. Anyway, those are some ideas of things, and coincidentally the bone season I found very easily in the boxes, so I think that's another reason why I feel like it's a sign that I should read it, that I managed to find it. Like, I've got boxes everywhere, like my whole like office desk is made up of boxes, and the bone season was not in any of those boxes. The bone season was in a box that was really easy to find. So is that a sign in the world telling me I should read the bone season? The other ones I had in like an easy access TBR pile box. That doesn't have that logic. Like, I put The Will of the Many in an easy access TBR pile because it's been calling to me. Anyway, there is some chaotic November. There's some chaotic December reading plans. Some hopes, some dreams, some aspirations, some we shall see. I mean, hopefully I've got some time off over Christmas. I'll be able to do some good amount of reading over Christmas and make up for some of the deficit that I'm going to have at the beginning of the month where I'm traveling a lot. And hopefully I'll be able to have a little bit more of a filming set up at some point. It probably won't be for a while because we're planning to get shelving in the main room, in the front room, and that's not going to be done for a while. I also need to figure out, if I am filming in the front room, how I deal with the noise, because it is on the street. So lots of things to be figured out in terms of filming, but do not anticipate that you're going to be having this background. It will get better. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you are planning to read in the month of December, and I will see you in my future videos. Bye.